So here we are starting our journey from Pune to Bhubaneswar, and this is about 6:30 right now in the morning of Christmas Eve, 25th December 2020. So we'll keep you posted on all the journey, and let's do the drive. So we have just left the Pune location, and on the National Highway 65 you can see the bright sun. It's approximately 7:50 now, and the road is very clear. We have a lot of fog around, but it's good drive, smooth till now. We'll keep you posted as we progress. So guys, we have reached the first toll plaza after Pune. This is the Patas toll plaza, and approximately we have driven 63.7 kilometers from Pune from my residence, and there is not much of traffic jam here. I think it will take hardly 7 minutes or so for clearing this. I see about 10 to 12 vehicles in front of me. You can see there are good about 7 odd vehicles. So okay, morning 8:14 the time is, so not much of traffic I see, and we would be able to cruise on after this toll plaza at a decent speed to reach the next toll plaza on the way. Let's keep the count on. So guys, stopped here in the Pancharatna Veg restaurant, but we had our own breakfast. We didn't want to have food in the restaurant, but the restaurant layout is good. They have good food, and the layout is good. They have parking here, and the restaurant has the toilet facility as well, but not very good, but it's doable and workable. So I'm having my breakfast right now. You can see homemade food with puri and bhaji sabjis. So enjoying the location here. You can see the national highway is running behind me, National Highway 65. So this is a good place, about 93 to 100 kilometers from Pune. So you can have a decent break here. Guys, I just crossed Pune-Solapur PKG 2 toll plaza. This came at 178.8 kilometers from Pune, and we just crossed it. If you can see here on the mirror, nothing visible. But point to note here is that there are police checkpost here. Traffic police is conducting some checks, and they are probably catching people without seat belts and maybe without mask as well, but they didn't stop me. So keep a watch on this point. This will be useful. Okay guys, so we have reached Sardewadi toll plaza here at 145 kilometers from Pune, and here also we have fast tag enabled, so quick traffic flow. We don't find any traffic here as of now, and we find that there is hardly any traffic. We can easily pass through in a minute or two. Keep a note of these toll plazas, because this is going to be acting like your guiding map along with the NH65. Okay, so we are now closing it into Solapur. I think it's about 20 odd kilometers, 25 kilometers from Solapur now. And well, the highway is clear. not much of traffic, though we find few trucks, very few trucks, and lorries crossing us, but fairly okay. There is no such major delays. And yes, for information, I have been maintaining the highway speed of 80 and below. I have not crossed 80, so it's time taking for me to reach. So the distance what you can see versus the time is more here because I am not crossing the speed limit of 80. So let's see that we are reaching Sholapur. So the next footage will capture somewhere near when we enter the Sholapur town, and that is how we'll connect back. Thank you. Okay guys, so just about 20 kilometers from Sholapur, we crossed one police interceptor vehicle that was carrying out the speed limit check. So be wary of staying under 80. So that's the update I wanted to give in between before reaching Sholapur. So maintain your speed under 80, about 20-25 kilometers from Sholapur. Obviously the vehicle speed limit checks starts from there, I suppose. Okay, thanks. I'll update you further when I reach near Sholapur. Thank you. Okay guys, I think we are reaching one more toll point before we enter Sholapur. And as you can see, this toll booth also has a Reliance petrol pump on the side of it, on the other side rather. So yeah, this is a long jam. As you can see, this is approximately 100 meters long traffic jam in this entry point of Sholapur. So probably nothing much can be done. We need to start following the traffic of free flow and reach the toll gate. Okay, I think I got a faster lane. Okay, I managed to get the faster lane. Let's see if I can get some additional benefit of moving into another lane that is faster than this one. Is it available? Achhi. Okay, so as you can see, this is a very long toll waiting area. So be wary. It's about 11:34 in the morning and 229 kilometers from Pune. So this is the toll gate, and yeah, this is probably the entry to Sholapur, and this is the longest toll waiting I'm finding till now. Thank you. We just managed to cross the toll booth of the Sholapur entry. Point to note here, the moment you cross the Sholapur toll bridge, you would find police again standing to check for seatbelts, masks, and whatever they are doing. So be wary of your check process and documents which must be in place. Thank you. Lanes on the left hand side, you can see this is in Sholapur entry. So we are crossing the Sholapur city. So advised to stay on NH65 because if you have put Sholapur as one of your stops, then the Google map will try and divert you towards the city by asking you to take many U-turns. So stay to it. We are now going to Omera, the next stop. It is around 86 kilometers from here. And stay on the national highway. That's the best advice, to stay on NH65. So as you can see, we are crossing the city. We have left the city practically to our rear, and we are moving on the highway. So Sholapur is a good city. We could find in this highway many showrooms of various good brands of cars and universities and other things. So we didn't go inside the city, but at the outside it looks fairly good city to be living in. Okay, as you can see, the green board, Sholapur is towards a little bit of left turn from here. so we don't go over the bridge. We take on a little bit of diversion here. Okay, so since we are not going inside city, so we are not going inside the left diversion. So we are continuing to stay on NH65. That's the correction, guys. You need to take care. If you have put Sholapur as a stop, it will guide you towards the Sholapur city, and you will get delayed in waiting the city traffic. Okay, thank you. Okay, guys. So as you can see, the distance to Hyderabad from here is around 304 kilometers more. There was just a signage on the road, so we found an update to share you this. So 304 more kilometers to go. So sit tight, put in your seat belts and relax the journey. I think the journey is going to be more fun here. And you can see on the left there is a big white arch. I don't know what's the arch looking like. It might be some gated community or some society formation happening. That's good. Here another piece of update. There was a left turn to take towards Hyderabad. This is the Sri Shivannar R. Kalsetti Industries L area. As you can see, so at this junction again there were a couple of police guys with their speed guns. Obviously it doesn't make sense to have speed guns in a junction point, but they were doing some checks. So well, within city we know we have to be within speed limits and be with your masks on. So now we have taken a diversion towards this Hyderabad location, and you can see here the road constructions happening. A part of a single lane has been kept open and the other part is under construction. So anyway, no traffic here to blame the delay here. The road is still getting constructed, and let's continue seeing this part of the drive for some more time and see what's coming next. Okay, so that was a piece of about 300 to 400 meters of patch which we had crossed. That was a little slow moving traffic, lot of trucks getting congested because of the bad road or the road repair work. Now it looks we are having gone back to the straight road on the highway without any diversions or construction activity. So let's look forward, continuing on NH65 itself. We are proceeding ahead towards Hyderabad. Well, quite a bit of trucks here. Obviously, I think it's a city limit area, so traffic is going to be a little bit more till the time we don't cross the complete city outer limits as well. So bear in mind this time delay that will happen when you are crossing the city till the time you are totally out of the outer limits of the city as well. Okay, let's see some more part of the city road and enjoy the drive exiting the city of Sholapur. Okay guys, as you can see, we are on our way, continuing on the National Highway 65. This patch of the road for about last 10 odd kilometers, there have been no networks. The mobile network is down. I don't know why. Airtel network I'm speaking about, and even in Jio I have the other one that also looks we're not having the network. So a point of note here. This is a small patch of village I'm crossing. Okay, as you can see, there's a signboard which speaks about Hyderabad to 82 kilometers, Naldurga 15 kilometers. So what an open patch. There is very little traffic on this particular stretch of road after Sholapur. Primarily maybe because of festive season, people are not moving much. Anyway, it looks good for us. Okay, another point of note, I've been trying to use the cruise function of my Civic. Well, it's been giving me good mileage, about 18.8 kilometers when I started from Pune till Sholapur. Well, the cruise control was quite helpful in between, but the point is every now and then you get some trucks blocking your way, and you have to drop down from your cruise control. So anyway, it's been giving us a good relief and trying to maintain the mileage as well. So 18.8 on the highway for Civic looks better than the declared mileage by the company itself. So I'm happy with that number. So well, let's see how much it gives me towards the end of my journey in Hyderabad. And the first stop, major stop in Hyderabad, because we're going to take a night halt here. Okay, so that's it for now. Let's connect back again after some gap. Thank you. Okay, so here again we are reaching to another toll point here. It looks clean, not much of traffic here. Well, in every toll point we are getting this message from the toll gate auto announcer saying from 1st January it's going to be 100% on FASTag. They will not accept anything other than FASTag. So guys, keep your FASTag on. Well, this is I think the first toll gate I'm finding which is absolutely clean. And it looks like a smooth drive. And yes, here we go. And that's the entry point. And looks clean. Let's pass on through here. And that's as simple as FASTag helps. Again, the announcement is seen here that you need to have it on 1st of January compulsorily. So that's exiting the toll gate, and we are still continuing on NH 65, and mobile network is back. Okay. So another thing, guys, piece of observation. From Pune to Sholapur, we found a lot of petrol bunks. Nothing to worry about. Every 20-30 kilometers you will find some of the other petrol bunk on your way. And absolutely no worry of filling the tanks in case you are feeling short of fuel. And another piece of observation is a lot of restaurants were found between Pune and Sholapur. And practically all of them were good, hygienic, and you can take a break for your washroom breaks or your tiffin breaks. But once we cross Sholapur, I'm finding that this stretch of land till now, I have not found a single restaurant or a breaking point. It's been good about 50 odd kilometers crossing Sholapur. I'm at 285 kilometers point as of now. But after crossing Sholapur, I didn't find any decent point of break, and very few petrol bunks rather. So this stretch of land road till now looks that you need to be refilling your tank for sure once you leave Sholapur. And as a highway guide, always try and keep your fuel pump, your fuel at least half, and reach for a refilling point. Don't take the risk of driving less than half of fuel in a tank and being in doubt whether you will get the fuel in how many kilometers. So that's the observation point, guys, and hope to give you another update in some more time. Thank you. Okay guys, there is one small diversion here, the narrow road. It's a kind of a single lane for both incoming and outgoing traffic, and a small broken piece of land that is approximately 50 meters of broken land. But the point is, this is a single lane for both incoming and outgoing traffic. I think some road diversion was made here, but we're straight continuing on our national highway only. But this looks like a small diversion here. And yeah, as you can see, it's a single lane, and overtaking is practically challenging. Okay guys, you can see on your left we are just crossed Naladurga town, and this is the fort. This is Naladurga fort. Some history to it. Need to see the reference in Google. So, but anyway, it's a history for us. See, it's a beautiful fort. Looks how strong it was probably at that time. Well, wonderful. It looks awesome. See the big fort, it is still continuing, and see the river, a small patch of water pond, and it looks a big huge fort. I was thinking it was a small one, but I've been driving around in a circuit, it still looks good. Well, now you can see this piece of the Mumbai highway, this is an NH65, now has become a single lane road instead of a 2 to 3 lane road as it was. After Naladurga town, it has become a single lane road. So be cautious of crossing this piece of land and the road. It's actually little narrow here. Overtaking is not prohibited on this patch of road, obviously because of being single lane. We have oncoming traffic, and as you can see, the number of trucks there crossing, so you know it's going to be definitely an uphill. So a small piece of hilly climb I can see here. There's a strain on the vehicle that is on the climb, but well, let's see this small hill kind of a thing, otherwise nothing much. Just enjoy the scenery here. We are just moving on up here. Okay guys, so we have stopped at 1 o'clock at a decent place. We see it's Sai Prasad. You can see it looks decent. It has a good layout inside and a good sitting area. So you can probably use this as a break point for your lunch during this period. Sai Prasad is what it looks like. So we'll see it when we go inside, and it looks decent. It has a good place to sit and have your lunch. Thank you. Okay guys, we have got another toll point now. Cars are carried 55 rupees. This toll also looks pretty clear, and FASTag enabled, so I think it's going to be a smooth ride up here from here now. 55 rupees this is. There's a renovation going on here in this toll plaza, and yeah, FASTag works well here. You can see all these toll plazas have, you know, a big illumination system on top. If you see this big pillar lights, and that's how they are upgraded upgrading the systems to be automated and fast moving. So there was a clear patch for us, and going on from here we are continuing on NH65, and yeah, it looks good. The journey till now has been fairly good. Minor patches of diversions, very easily identifiable and readable, and we are moving on the NH65, and well, as you can see, there were some diversion signages, so they've been nicely made so that you are aware of the diversions well in advance, so that you can plan your speed as well as your taking turns. So I think this patch of road which we have covered post Sholapur, very little number of people on private cars, very less compared to what it was Pune Sholapur. Sholapur Hyderabad looks pretty lean as far as private cars are concerned. It's more of truck business, and that's why I was kind of missing where are the traffic. So very little private cars. Once in a while, maybe once in 10-15 minutes you will cross one private car. Not even taxis. And amazing to see there is no taxis also plying on this road much. Well, speed limit in this road is 80 as in almost all the NHs. So guys, adhere to the speed limit, and you may find some fast zooming cars crossing you, but don't get tempted. The highway is open for even 150 odd kilometers per hour, but that's fatal. So let's stick to 80 kilometers. That's where safety takes first preference. Okay, so what you see here, some structures are coming up on the far skyline, you can see. Let's see, what are they? They look like some temple structures or some conical structures. I presume they are some temple structures. And as you can see towards your left, a lot of agriculture and greeneries. So pretty good here. As you can see here, again, see in front of you there is a diversion. This diversion was cautioned 500 meters ahead, 500 meters before. So we are taking a diversion. When you're traveling at night, be cautious of these diversions. Yeah, be cautious of these diversions. This is the point which I don't know what's this all about. This is a new kind of a crossing checkpost, maybe for the trucks, but there is nothing, no checkpoint here. It's just a place. So it looks like we have entered Telangana. The big checkpost which I was referring to at the past, something like an octroi post. Yes, that was the border checkpost kind of a thing. So we have entered Telangana officially, and now Hyderabad is about 200 kilometers, as you can see on the board. And yeah, that was the update I thought I'll give you. So we crossed into Telangana somewhere around 360 odd kilometers from Pune. That was the border point near about the same time. So this is all Telangana, guys. So you see the green board, signage board. It says about Sangareddy ahead. Well, we have to pass by that as well. So we are still continuing on NH65. That's the single straight road from Pune all the way to Hyderabad. So you find the signages very efficiently and effectively put all across. Probably every few kilometers you find these signages, so you don't miss out on the fact that you are on the course of the main road, and that what's the distance from your destination. Okay, guys, let's look forward to the next update in some time. As has been told by many, that this is a definitely good place with a petrol pump in between HP. So one should take the opportunity of using this facility if required. So we have already had our lunch and my tank is full. So I don't need to stop here, but you should try if you can, if you need. Thank you. Okay guys, we have here the first toll point inside Telangana. It's about 500 meters from here now. As you can see, the boards on the left hand side, all the green boards speak about the toll point coming soon. Okay, here we go. So here we have about 90 rupees is the toll tax point what we see for cars and jeeps. Again, here we have fast tag enabled all across National Highway. The good part about this fast tag is that, you know, the moment the money is deducted from your tag account, you get an SMS from your bank, which is tagged with the tag fast tag. So at the end of the trip, you can literally see all the details of the toll plazas crossed at what time and what was the charge they had levied on you. So it's a kind of a history record for you to showcase and also calculate at the end of the day as to what time you reached which toll and what was the money paid in that toll. So it's a SMS based service of the bank that actually helps you in this particular tracking. So, well, let's see, going ahead further on, we are about 150 odd kilometers away from Hyderabad destination. Yeah, so let's wait for the next update. Okay, so this is the next toll in Telangana. Here also it looks like the traffic wait period is very minimal. It's about 469 kilometers now from Pune, and we are at 16:36 hours. So guys, finally reached Hyderabad at 7 o'clock, and presently checked into my hotel for the stay for the night in Taj Deccan Hotel. And well, it's a much relieving drive of approximately 9 hours. Started off at about 6:30, and reached at 6:30. So it's a total of 12 hours journey. Well, it could have been done faster, if in case people can drive faster. But then, as I said, safety is first. So we stuck to 80 kilometers per hour. Now that's the point, that if you stick to 80 kilometers per hour, it's going to take you approximately 12 hours. So keep that factor in mind when you plan your journey from Pune to Hyderabad. And that's what it is. Well, when we entered the city, obviously the city traffic took its toll. We got delayed more chasing the narrow lanes of the city to reach to our destination hotel here. But it's a wonderful journey, and we enjoyed thoroughly in between, having knickknacks and short breaks, at least 2 short breaks and 1 lunch long break. So that's the journey from Pune to Hyderabad. We'll have the next part where we will journey commence tomorrow from Hyderabad to Visakhapatnam, and we'll keep you posted about Visakhapatnam and its journey. So stay tuned and keep driving. Thank you. So starting from the Taj Deccan Hotel right now, it's about 6:30 now, and we'll be moving to Visakhapatnam. Let's see how long it takes. So yeah, the vehicle is ready, and good to start the next journey. It's going to take another 10 hours, but let's see how much we are able to cover this time. Thank you. Stay tuned. Hey guys, so we are on the National Highway 65 and exiting the city limits slowly. As you can see on the far horizon, we have the orange sunrise scene. So, well, it takes a little time to come out of the city, even though we have started early at 6:30. But it makes sense to move as early as possible. You should try and move if you can move early also. So that's how waiting through this city limits will take some time. And as you can see, the weather here is a little cold and foggy outside. So nothing to worry. The visibility is good, about half a kilometer, clear vision, and we are on course at 65. So stay on tune. We'll update as we progress ahead. Thank you. Hey guys, this is the first toll gate after exiting from Telangana, Hyderabad. So as you can see, it's pretty okay, no traffic here, and looks like an easy driveway too. Is the third toll. I missed covering the second toll in between. So the small breakout point which I was speaking about, that is just about 100 meters from this toll. So you can see it is Ralphadu Plaza. So the breakout point was about 100 meters before this, so you can map it in your calculation marking. Okay, so we are good to go. No traffic here, and it was a smooth exit. Thank you. So we have another toll point coming in here, and this is coming at 781 kilometers from Pune, and again this is a very fast lane, and Chillakallu. This is Chillakallu Plaza. Chillakallu Plaza. Okay, so we have passed through this. Again, we find all the toll points are very broad, wide, and properly illuminated. So this is again the same thing. Well, you can see a hill kind of a thing on right side, small conical mountain. Good to see here, and top of that there is some mobile antenna. Okay guys, let's continue the drive. It's been all through very smooth. The roads have been perfectly good from Hyderabad till now, and good places of breaks have been seen all across. After that initial 100-kilometer mark, till which there were nothing, but after that there have been quite a many breakout points. So you can be rest assured you will have ample places to break out as well as fuel pumps all across, and the roads are good, absolutely no problem till now. So let's hope continue the journey. Okay guys, I think there was this one diversion here near Nandi Gamam. There's some repair works going on on the bridge to the NH65. So there is a left diversion that is required to be taken, and again it goes and meets back to the NH65 just before you cross the riverfront. So it comes and meets near Kakatia Family Restaurant point. So that's the little diversion which I am finding here. That will be there before you cross the Kisira bridge. Okay, let's meet up you at when we are crossing the Kisira bridge. Okay. Guys, we have reached this Kisira toll bridge. Kisira toll bridge. This is after taking that small diversion which we had. I think again here no traffic, it's an easy way through. And we find here a couple of police vehicles standing on the left hand side of the road. Maybe as part of some check drive. It's better continue on the straight line. Okay, so this is a little bit delay because we had to pass through the diversion. I think after the construction is over, it will be a smooth sailing here. Okay. We will be moving on straight. Little high density on the road now as we are crossing this point. Greenery on the left, you can see it's a lush green agricultural field, I think paddy fields. Okay, see you at another milestone. Okay guys, so this is again after the Kisira bridge. There's another small diversion. As you can see, the roads are still under construction, so this bridge part is there. Now you can see on the right hand side there's a big Hanuman statue. Wonderful to see, and great. You may want to stop here near the statue for a photograph or just pay your homage. It's a wonderful statue, as you can see to the right. We'll stop here for a small visit. The map is showing Google Map to take a left turn. I don't know why it's asking. However, NH65 looks forward. So I'm continuing at NH65, which basically becomes NH16 from here, I suppose, in the map. So I'm trying to maintain the course on the
National Highway 65 and turn left. Turn left towards the Bangabari Street.
you can see the signal of Visakhapatnam shows straight also, but why it is trying to show me a left? So it's a confusion by Google. It's trying to take me again and again towards. It's trying to take me again and again towards the left turn. However, I'm trying to continue on 65. So you can see the map. After I persistently did not leave that Google advice, I continued to stay on NH65. It has now shown me this NH65 map, and that is how I'm continuing. You can see the green board here in front, which also shows that I'm going towards Visakhapatnam is in the correct course. So I think Google tries to give a shortcut, but then what happens in the shortcut, you unnecessarily enter inside the city traffic or lane traffics. That is how you get delayed, and if you are traveling in a big car, then it becomes difficult to stay on those small lanes. So I suggest stick on to NH65 itself, in spite of the Google trying to divert you to the smaller lanes. So obviously this will go and meet at the same place where the Google is trying to say, but it will be unnecessary delay and following a smaller lanes within the city. Okay, let's catch up sometimes at the junction point where it merges. You can see again the signboard of green shows Visakhapatnam is straight. So we are right on course. But somebody who's coming for the first time, will actually get confused with Google trying to give a different direction, and you trying to follow NH65. So take a conscious call on that and stay on course. So guys, this NH65 in this Vijayawada area is actually a little pain. It consumes a lot of time, so you can see the traffic how bad it is. And you see in the map, this part of the stretch, and there is another stretch like this that has an equally bad stretch. So Vijayawada is going to be a pain to cross, even though you are on NH65. It's going to be a pain to cross. Factor in your time, and accordingly keep on course. So just check on the traffic ahead. You need to actually factor in additional time it takes. A lot of your speed that you gained in the highways NH65 earlier actually gets completely compromised here inside in Vijayawada. So okay guys, another update, at this exact point, the junction which you see on the front of you, here NH65 goes to the right, whereas NH16 goes to the straight. So here is the point where we leave NH65 because that goes to Machilipatnam, and we take on NH16 that will take us to Visakhapatnam. So that was the update I wanted to give you, and now we are proceeding ahead again. There is a congestion that in the road that continues, and we need to wait through this congestion point. So keep in mind this particular fact: NH65 ended and NH16 started here. Okay guys, as you can see, the stretch of road post Vijayawada has not been good. You'll find what you see on the right side. These kind of construction sites are there almost every stretch of the road. So the speed has gone down below 50. So it's been like I'm driving for last about 45 minutes to an hour in NH16, and the speed has been approximately 50 or 55, and you have to cross couple of villages in between, towns where the traffic is very heavy. So this stretch of road, as you see on the right, you see the constructions are all on. So maybe after 6 months to 1 year, this thing becomes good for a smooth drive across. But as of now, this is a bad experience of driving down an NH16. It's absolutely decreasing your speed from 80 to 50. And it's been there for the last 45 minutes, 1 hour. So you can just imagine what pain it must be driving at this speed. And that road traffic is quite heavy. So people planning to travel now, need to keep this in mind. This is going to be a pain for travel onwards.
In 300
Okay, give an update later on. Was one
turn left.
Google Map based diversion that asked me to move out of NH16 because the NH16 was going to take another 40 odd kilometers extra than this. So I took a risk of taking this diversion, but I'm finding this road is very broken. This piece of land road, though looks shorter, but it has a impact on your speed, and the road conditions also are pretty damaged here. For a good structure of this bridge is damaged, and the roads are all single lane basically. So if you can see, this particular stretch of road is pretty bad. So it goes to Rajahmundry faster than the other one in NH16. I tried to take this, to take a chance. If you can see, Rajahmundry is 35 kilometers from here. And yeah, let's see what's the road condition like after this stretch is over. I'll give another update as to what it looks like at the end of the road. Okay guys, I think that particular diversion which I told you, that is absolutely avoidable. There is no point taking that diversion. It took me at least 15 minutes to cross a patch of probably 3 kilometers. Completely broken down road, and the road passing village area only. So now just came out of that area, and fairly okay road now, but a 3 kilometer stretch approximately takes 15 minutes. That's not worth it. So continue on your NH16 itself, probably that should be good. And this broken patch road was so bad, the possibility of your tires, getting a puncture and other things are also very high. Never try with a small vehicle. If you have an SUV and all, it's okay, but still highly recommend to avoid it. Okay, let's meet up at Rajahmundry and see what's the status there. Okay. Okay guys, as you can see, we are crossing the bridge on Godavari. It's a good experience to see the river on my own, and as you can see, this is quite a long bridge. When you go by NH16 as well, you will have to cross this river, and post which then you will be closing into Rajahmundry. Big river. Left side is full of water and right side is little bit sandy. Okay. Okay Okay guys, this is a place where we have taken a break for our dinner. This is called Jazz Hotel, and very good hotel. Like I would say, the food quality and the washrooms. You can see even the parkings, and it's a wonderful layout. You can have plan to have your meals for your dinner or lunch. You can have it here, and it's a good place. You can see. And I'll share you a couple of pictures also in the vlog. So good place, you can have your break here, and this is about 100 kilometers short of Visakhapatnam, so you can try this place as well. Guys, good morning. This is the third day of our journey, and we have started from our hotel from Visakhapatnam at about 8:15. We took a little late start because last night when we reached Visakhapatnam it was close to 10:30. Obviously that included 1 hour of our lunch dinner break at the restaurant on the highway. So guys, point to note, journey from Hyderabad to Visakhapatnam is longer than the journey from Pune to Hyderabad, and also because the stretch from Vijayawada to Visakhapatnam has many bad patches and broken roads, work in progress status. So you need to be factoring in that time, and we had a very late evening, slept around 12 o'clock. 11:30, 12 o'clock, so that's why we started a little late today in the morning. Well, in our journey we just now moved out of the Visakhapatnam city limits, and we are on the NH16 that is going to lead us till Bhubaneswar. It's about 420 odd kilometers from here, and we plan to cover it in 8 hours as per the Google map, but practically it may be about 9 hours or so, including our breaks. So let's see how the things look like towards the journey. We'll keep you posted about important updates, goal points, breakout points and things like that. So stay tuned and keep driving. This update I'm giving after a long time. It's been now about 3.5 hours we started from Visakhapatnam. We started at 8:15, now it is 11:45. So, well, I wanted to give a consolidated approach. We crossed 3 odd toll points, and one update to understand is after 100 kilometers from Visakhapatnam, the road stretch goes bad again, the NH16 itself. Reason being, there are a lot of construction works happening. It's good for the future development, and a lot of bridges and avoiding the local village areas is being created by the government, but that's taken a big toll on my travel time and my travel mileage and all. So to give an update, after 100 kilometers from Pune, after 100 kilometers from Visakhapatnam, for about 50 odd kilometers this construction work is going on. Now in that particular stretch it took me about an hour and a half, nearly an hour plus, I would say, for crossing that 50 kilometer stretch. That's a big time killer. As you know that that particular stretch was very bad. So post that stretch, then the NH16 is a smooth ride, not much of distraction or diversions. But in that 50 kilometer stretch, every 1000 meter or 500 meters you will find a diversion. Your speeds are always below 60, 50, in that range. So that's how it's a big toll. Again, another big update, in this entire stretch from Visakhapatnam till now, hardly any passenger cars are seen. It's only lorries and trucks. So you will not find many company here on passenger cars. Another thing is there are hardly any. I have not found at a single rest point for the last 3.5 hours. So there are no dhabas, no eateries, no breakout points, nothing till now. And I'm driving non-stop. because I couldn't find any such breakout points. So guys, you need to carry your food, water, everything together. And petrol bunks are also very sparse. So this stretch from Visakhapatnam till now, you need to be tank full before you start from Visakhapatnam. Don't depend on highway petrols. Many times you may not find petrol, because I had experience from Vijayawada till Visakhapatnam. I touched upon 3 petrol bunks, but they had only diesel, no petrol. So that's a kind of thing, because obviously the petrol bunks cater for the trucks. They don't cater much for the cars. And also, especially a lot of cars these days have diesel. So petrol is not a choice for the petrol bunks in the highways. So don't depend on filling petrol on this highway, especially this particular stretch from Visakhapatnam to Bhubaneswar. So that was the update. No rest points, no breakout points. That's a sad part of it. I'm not able to take a break. I'm driving continuously. So keep that in mind when you travel in this stretch. So if somebody wants to travel from Visakhapatnam, from Vijayawada to Visakhapatnam, it's good. You travel. Keep in mind the travel time, because that was a very elongated time. Again, from the stretch from Visakhapatnam to Bhubaneswar, because of these road diversions and delays, if you want to avoid, you can avoid the road travel. Just take a flight and hop on, because you kill your experience of driving, by taking that much hit on the speed. Anyway, so that's the update I wanted to give to all of you. We'll wait for the next update after some time. Thank you. This is the last toll, but there is no toll plaza here. It's been, I think, shifted between Andhra and Odisha. So I think in about few kilometers from now, we will enter into the territory of Odisha. Well, the journey has been pretty okay till now. After that 100 kilometer, about 50 kilometer rough patch of construction. The rest, it's been a smooth sail. But again, as I said, there is no break points till now. So we have crossed from Pune, if I say total 1453 kilometers as of now. And you can see the speedometer. The mileage has gone down to 17.6, primarily because of the bad stretch of road yesterday. When we had that Vijayawada, that I covered up between Vijayawada to Visakhapatnam, I again reached 18.9. But now, because of this bad stretch of about 50 odd kilometers, the mileage has gone down. That's another point to note here. When I started from Pune, I had filled my tank completely with Shell pump petrol, and probably that had an impact on the mileage, I would say, because yesterday in Visakhapatnam I filled my tank from Bharat Petroleum, and bearing that 50 kilometer stretch of Visakhapatnam from Visakhapatnam, which was a bad stretch. The rest of the entire stretch was good, and I was cruising very well within 80-85 kilometers under that limit. But still, the mileage has not been able to come back to anything beyond 17.6 now. So, well, it will be a little early now, but by the time I reach Bhubaneswar, I'll give you an update then to see whether the mileage also had an impact because of a petrol pump, Shell versus Bharat. So we'll give an update on that. So it's good to have the best fuel for long journey, because it adds to the mileage, and it's good for the engine as well. So keep that in mind, and I'll give an update once we are reaching near Bhubaneswar. So these are border towns between Bhubaneswar and Andhra. Border town areas where you will find a mix of culture and mix of people, languages, ethnicity. As you can see in the Google map, the dotted line shows the border between Andhra and Odisha. And if you see the green board there, Odisha has officially started. The language has changed now from Andhra to Odisha, Odia language. So that is it, guys. So we have officially entered Orissa, and welcome to Orissa. That's our destination. So our destination begins from here. Thank you, guys. This is the only place which I found to have some eating facility. As you can see, we are just parked here, and this is the place. This is the restaurant behind me. You can see this is Narayani restaurant. Now this place is at a place which has the signage. You can see it says Bhubaneswar 102 kilometers, Behrampur 70 on either side. So after crossing Behrampur, you will find this place as the only place on the highway left hand side which will have some kind of eating point. So guys, don't miss it. Don't miss this point. And if you want to have a break, this is the only place you have before you hit ahead. Okay guys, so finally I reached home yesterday, so I'm doing this vlog, closing it today morning. So it took us about 9 hours from Visakhapatnam to Bhubaneswar, and the stretch of the road, as I said, had a long patch wherein we never had any restaurants to have food except for the one where we stopped for having our lunch, and that is there in the blog. But then there are no other points where we can have a break. So guys, be careful, carry your own water, food and snacks, and be prepared to be halting only at places where you can find some rest, and that's only very limited. Now the journey on the road was pretty okay, but I would not say it was trouble free, because there were a lot of road diversions from Visakhapatnam to Bhubaneswar. Especially you will find after Behrampur and all, the roads are having a lot of diversions. Constructions are happening all across the national highway. It's good that the development is happening, because after a year or so you will find those roads becoming very good and the travel journey becoming more experienced full, so you will be able to drive in well. So as of now, well, if you're planning to travel now between Visakhapatnam to Bhubaneswar, you will find these diversions definitely hitting your speed. But nevertheless, in spite of all those things, we reached and clocked within 9 hours. Obviously, as I've said earlier, I always maintain my speed about 80 kilometers per hour. So 9 hours were a decent journey. We started at about 8:30, we finished at about 5:30, and that was it. And obviously, Bhubaneswar traffics are good, not very cumbersome, and I reached home pretty well before dark. And that's what is the end of my journey. So yeah, it was a very long journey, but I enjoyed my stay wherever I planned. The journey was good. Obviously, you need to have a decent size car to have the journey memorable, and do plan your trip in advance. Take a stock of the road conditions, the diversions, and plan your time in well. So that's all from my side. Hope you have a safe journey. Thank you. Keep driving.